thank you to all those who have taken some time out of their day to watch this video, either now live or in the future whenever you get around to watching it. And thank you for all of you guys on the previous live streams. It's been really nice to see the numbers creeping up, and yeah, really appreciate it. Thanks to all those who have recently hit the subscribe button as well. Makes a big difference to the channel, and thanks to all those who have hit the like button. So if you are watching today and you are new to the channel, thanks for joining in. This channel is all about me and my wargaming hobby, so welcome along for the ride. And today I'm going to be going through what I've been up to this week, trying to just keep that momentum going on the channel. As I've said in previous videos, for me it's about not trying to burden myself with making content at the moment. It's all about me trying to enjoy the hobby, and this is really a documentation of that hobby and what I've been up to. It's been a bit of an odd week this week, just gone. A little bit busy at times, other times I've had some available time to actually get some stuff done, so it's been really encouraging. So without further ado, we're going to jump into what I've been up to. However, just a quick reminder, if you are new or you haven't subscribed, do please hit that subscribe button. It means the world to me and costs you absolutely nothing. So, hobby-wise, what have I been up to this week? Well, I've continued reading my book on the Battle of Goose Green, which will heavily influence, or essentially inform me for when I get round to writing the Falklands supplement for Contact Front, which is probably not too far away. There are some interesting things going on with Contact Front at the moment in the background, and that is making a difference to where the priority on the tasks that we need to complete, where they sit on terms of the priority lists. So I can't say anything at the moment because we are really in the infancy of development, but hopefully, fingers crossed, moving forward we should have some interesting and exciting announcements to make in the future. So just stand by on that one, and we'll see what we can tell you when we can tell you it. So that's Contact Front. I haven't really managed to touch my 10mm Falklands stuff this week, which is a bit of a shame, but hopefully in the coming weeks, if I can get a bit of time, I'll get a bit of painting in, so that'll be really exciting. So that's that. Jumping into the Wild West, which is where most of my efforts are at the moment. Really enjoying the kind of the character and the creativity that the Wild West is allowing me to bring out. So for viewers of the channel, you'll know that I have been working on scratch building some buildings for the Wild West, and I did also pick up the starter set, the 2-player starter set from Great Escape Games at Salute. Last week after the I jumped off the live stream, and that evening I had quite a bit of time, so I decided to just use that enthusiasm that I'd got from doing the live stream and really get into opening up the start set and making some bits. So I've actually put together the first of the plastic buildings that you get. You get 3 in the starter set, and this should be locking in. I don't know why it's not. Anyway. Okay, so that locks in really nicely. The door is actually on a hinge, so that swings open and closed. That's really cool. Roof comes off. Really nice detailed roof. And then inside, oh, see, there you see the doors opening. So I've put this partition in here and some windows in the back. My plan is that you'll come in. This will be like a doctor's office. This will be your reception. You then come through this door into the back where the doctor will then see you. And I'll come back to the doctor in a minute, because that's got me thinking in terms of what to do this coming week. But yeah, I'm really impressed with this. I really like it a lot. It's a cool design, and it actually size wise, this is really very similar to my scratch built buildings, which has been fantastic. So I'll just hold up this one. So this is the general store that I've built, and they're sitting on about the same level, and you can see they're about the same size, and even looking at that way, roofs are about the same as well. So I'm really pleased with that the plastic ones are pretty much standard size to the ones that I'm building. And coming back to the ones that I have been building, so this is, as I said, the general store. What I had done last week was to build a window frame. I didn't like the, what I had before was essentially like the door. I'd gone for a cardboard style window, and was just going to paint the glass to give it a glass effect. Didn't really like that, particularly as it doesn't match the plastic kits. So I built one out of sort of matchsticks, put it in the window. I didn't really like it, to be fair. So what I then decided to do was experiment with using card. And what I then did was make two frames and stuck one behind the other, and that allows me to have the opening window in different positions. This one's slightly lower here, and I think I've done once on one of the buildings where it's completely closed. So then that sort of got me thinking about this front one. How do I get that out? I tried really hard to get the matchsticks out, and I just couldn't get them out. So I thought, well, why not board it? So the general store has recently been broken into through the front window. That's now been boarded up, and I thought that would just add a really nice bit of character to this building. Not much has changed on the inside. I do now need to paint the new window frames on the inside, so I can then put on the coloured paper for the wallpaper, and then I need to paint the outside, and essentially then this is done. The roof, which is a simple card mock-up with a bit of foam board to stop the roof sliding off the back, that will need to be covered in some black paper that I've got, which should give the impression of a felt roof. But that, therefore, is my first building done. I quite like it, actually. It's got a lot of character to it. It's a nice little small store. I think that'll be really good. This week I've also made some progress on my second building. So I had built a sort of wider one, shorter on the depth but wider on the front. I've now put the new windows in the front. You can see they've got different openings on the windows, which I think looks really good as well. I've put the frame on the signage where I'm going to have Stagecoach, and then I've started to cap off that. Just need to cap the top now. I've also done the floorboards on the inside, so now it's ready to paint the floorboards, paint the doors and window frames from the inside, and once I've capped the top off, then all I've got to do, again, paint it, wallpaper inside, roof on top, signage done. So that's the second one that I'm pretty happy is nearing completion. Now, speaking of the Stagecoach office, which is what that building will be, I decided again after the live stream to get the Warbases Stagecoach set that I picked up at the Salute and put it together. Now, I can't remember. I thought I did this last week. Maybe it was the week before. Anyway, I had built it, I believe, on last week's stream, and I thought this week. In fact, did I prime it red as well? I might have primed it red for last week's stream. But this week I thought, let's make some progress on it. So what I've done is I've taken some yellow paint and I've started to paint up the undercarriage. Now, I've got more to do. I'm by no means finished it, but I think it's starting to add a little bit of character to this set. And once I've got that yellow paint on, I can then start to put the metalwork on the wheels, which will again really nicely finish it off, and then I can start to put on the yellow detail around the carriage itself. So I'm really pleased with that, and once I get paid, I'll think about ordering from Warbases the base that it should sit on, some standing horses. I think this one I will leave the drivers off and I'll leave the stowage off, because this will be my sort of one that's pulled up outside the Stagecoach office. So that's the Stagecoach, and I'm really impressed with how that's coming along. Really liking that. And as I was doing the windows, I also decided on the laundry to make the window for the front. I then also have cut out the pieces ready to do the doors, so on the front and the back, and then that's really ready to start paneling up like I've done with all the others, and then eventually floorboards and that good stuff. And again, these buildings really are quite, now I understand the process of how I can do it and the quickest way I can do it. They are really coming out quite quickly. It's just finding the time, to be quite honest, to sit down and just cut out lots of card and stick lots of card. But yeah, it's really coming along. Now, if you remember back to the Salute Hall live stream, which I did, it must be now 2 weeks ago, I think I did it. I picked up some packs of figures from Foundry, and I was thinking this week it'd be nice to actually start making a start on these, and that might encourage me to do more on the buildings and get them done, particularly when I'm not feeling like I can be bothered to cut out more strips of card and stick them on. So what I've done is I've gone ahead and picked out 4 figures from the 3 packs that I got, and I've just put them on pennies to start with, and you'll see why in a second. So the first one is this figure here. Not sure how well the camera's going to pick that up, focus, but essentially he looks a bit like somebody from the East, maybe a Chinaman, who's got a sack of laundry there. So he's going to be my laundryman. As my sort of fictitious town that I'm building is set on the west coast, sort of California way, I'm thinking, you know, with the Chinese immigrants that were there in that time, in the 1890s, I thought that would really set it nicely. So the Chinaman is going to be in the laundry. He's going to own that, and I'm not sure if I mentioned this last week, but essentially the idea is that the customer comes in through the front door into this section, hands off his laundry, gets taken into the back room where all the sort of washing vats and all that are, the mangles and all that, and then taken out the back door to washing lines and stuff. And I'll probably make some of that, why not. So that's the first character. Now, with the plastic Great Escape Games building, I decided that was going to be a doctor's office, as I mentioned earlier, and I found this figure looking particularly doctor-like. He's got a bag there, which I could imagine would be maybe for his medical kit, and he looks to be looking at something in his hand. It might be his, in fact, actually, it's his pocket watch, which I could imagine he might be, you know, late for an appointment, or maybe he's waiting, taking somebody's pulse, something like that. But I thought he looked particularly doctor-like, so he's going to be my doctor. And then looking at the first building, the scratch building that I've sort of almost completed, the one with the roof, that's going to be the general store. And I found this chap with an apron. He's going a bit bold, but he looks like he's maybe waiting on somebody to pay. But again, he looks particularly sort of shopkeeperish. So he's going to be my general store owner. And then I found this chap who looks like he could be running the Stagecoach office. Nice little cap there. I think he could probably also double up as maybe a station station guard or something like that if I was to do a railway station. But I really like him, and I think he'll do very nicely, just to start to add some characters to my buildings to really bring the town to life. So that's how the whole project is starting to tie together. If I can get some time, maybe this afternoon, get a bit of sand on the bases, get them outside, get them primed, that would be great. And then I can start to work on those maybe 1 or 2 evenings this week. Along with that, I'll also be trying to get the laundry, with at least the sidings on that, the frontage, finish those doors, get those installed. And then the actual flooring doesn't take too long. Essentially what I do is I measure the internal dimensions inside the internal walls, and then cut that out as a piece of card, and then I just measure 10mm strips and just cut them, and then it's just a case of making sure that no one length of floorboard is more than 100mm, and then I change it depending on, you know, I try to vary the lengths of boards, and then I just stick them down. It's as simple as that, really. So yeah, so that will be something that I'll be aiming to do this week as well, just to try get that a lot closer. Ideally, I'd like to get these painted in the next few weeks, maybe before the end of May, so that I can then look in June and July to start playing some games, because certainly June and July is going to be hot enough, I suspect, that painting things is going to be a bit more challenging. That's usually what I find as we get into the height of summer. Paint just dries too quick on the palette. I don't have a wet palette, so it is a case of, you know, trying to paint things quickly, and sometimes it's just no fun. So if I can get a load of stuff painted so that in the summer I'm playing games rather than painting, that'd be really, really good. So that's pretty much where I'm at with the Old West buildings, with the town, with the game. I did sometime this week pull out the Dead Man's Hand Redux rulebook to start flicking through and reading. It is a beautifully presented book, rulebook. It looks fairly easy to understand what's going on. I've got a gist of this kind of the idea behind the game, that it's sort of that designed to be a Hollywood style game, which is fun. And having played the Chicago Way, I know that the mechanics behind it I quite like. They're nice and easy to get a grip of. So yeah, so what I'll be doing at some point is probably put my figures on a table and just start playing through it by myself, just to understand the rules. I know Phil's keen, and he's got his starter set now, so I think we're both keen to probably get some games in, and then I can do a live stream once I'm happy with the rules. I've got those extra gunfighters to put together at some point, but I think I'm going to probably do some more townsfolk first. I think I've got enough figures to start with. So yeah, so that's the rules. Not a particularly thick rule book, which is always nice, and the bits at the back with the scenarios are really neatly presented. They've done it like a newspaper, with all the bits in there you need. So again, really, really nice. Need to get some of the scatter terrain done. Well, it's like everything, isn't it? The list is long, but the time is short. So yeah, the only thing I will add, so the plastic kits come with these, let me just put one up here, these balconies. I dropped this on the way to bring it upstairs, and the third leg has fallen off, and that sits really nicely. It glues onto the building and then glues onto the boardwalk as well. I wasn't going to glue this on just because of storage, and I'm now leaning towards maybe gluing the boardwalk and this all to the bottom half of the building, with the idea that the doctor's office will sort of sit not separate, but there may well be some steps down onto the, you know, they've set it away from the buildings, or it's been built before all the other buildings, something like that. So I'm going to play around with that. I'm just concerned about the fragility of it, and hoping that, you know, it just doesn't get broken easily. So yeah, that's that. So the only other thing this week that I thought about, just didn't get time to get to, was to get the 2mm LE fonts Phil printed for me, which I've got here. I want to get these cut up, cleaned up, so that I can then put those onto the bases that I've now picked up from War Bases. I think I'm probably going to do 3 bases worth. I've got these 120mm by 80mm bases. You get 3 in a pack from War Bases, so I'll be using those to do some units of their Oliphants, and I forget the name. I think they're Harakim or something like that. But yeah, they're one of the units that I'll need for battles like the Battle of Pelennor Fields. So I want to just get those done, particularly as Phil printed those for me ages ago, and they've been sat there for a while. So yeah, that's that really. Not much else to report this week. I'm waiting on a couple of packages to come through, I believe. Pierce is very kindly chasing those up for me, so I might have some extra goodie bits to show off in a week or two's time, but we'll wait and see on that. But apart from that, yeah, there's it's just carrying on and getting this project done, so I can get some figures on the table and start playing some games. I've got a mat that will work. From last week's, I got loads of boardwalk done. I'll probably do some more at some point when it's dry enough to prime. The plastic buildings, I'm thinking of actually spraying them brown as well and doing the dry brush like I did the boardwalk, just because the texture, the printed texture is just so nice that it seems a shame to kind of just paint over that and make it look a bit flat. So I thought, you know, it's probably a good one just to spray brown, which means I should be able to get this primed up pretty quickly, and then it's just a case of dry brushing it, bit of detail and painting on the window frames and the doors. But once I've on the tiles on the roof, then it'll be a case of getting some sort of sign up here. I am considering ordering from Great Escape Games their they do a stencil where you essentially just lay it on top and paint over it. I'm considering that. The only other option would be to print something, but I think, you know, I think the stencil's probably the way to go, if I'm honest, just to get that looking really, really nice. So yeah, that's it really for this week, guys. Obviously, you know, if you've got any thoughts, comments, leave them down below in the comments section. I do reply to every comment. If you've liked this video, do please hit that like button and consider subscribing to the channel as we slowly build our way to 1,000 subscribers. It'd be really, really good to get some progress towards that 1,000. You know, let me know what you're working on in the comments. It'd be really good to hear what you're working on. I am hoping in the not too distant future to start getting some 20mm World War II stuff on the table as well. But again, I'm trying to get one project done before I start another, or at least you know, get myself to the point where I can do a game, so I can then come back and do some other games or some other projects ready for other games later on. But yeah, really, that's it for me this week, guys. Hope you're all well, and thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next week. I think, yeah, probably it'll be the Sunday again next week, trying to find a regular slot that's going to work for us. But yeah, brilliant. Well, until next time, guys, take care, stay safe, and we'll see you soon.